After 60, life wisdom. She thought happiness meant living for her children, until one decision at 68 changed everything. Have you ever looked at an older person living alone and quietly assumed they must be lonely? What if the exact opposite were true? What if the happiest years of life begin not when your children need you, but when you finally rediscover yourself? Many people spend decades believing that a good parent sacrifices everything. They believe that growing old means depending on their children, giving up personal dreams, and slowly fading into the background of family life. But one remarkable woman proved that belief completely wrong. At 68 years old, after dedicating nearly her entire life to raising her daughters and working tirelessly to support her family, she made a decision that shocked everyone around her. Instead of moving in with her children, she chose to live alone. Not because she loved them less, but because she had finally learned one life-changing truth. And by the end of this story, you may begin to see aging and happiness in a completely different way. Before we begin, if you enjoy thoughtful stories that help you live with greater wisdom, purpose, and peace after 60, subscribe to After 60 Life Wisdom and join thousands of viewers discovering how to make the later years the most meaningful years of life. And I'd love to hear from you. If you believe growing older should mean growing wiser, not just older, please comment wisdom below. Your words might inspire someone else today. Now, let's begin. For more than 3 decades, Emiko woke before sunrise every morning. She wasn't chasing wealth or recognition. She was simply trying to survive. After losing her husband unexpectedly, she found herself raising 2 young daughters alone. There was no time to grieve for long. Bills had to be paid. Children had to be fed. Life demanded strength she wasn't sure she possessed. So she opened a small neighborhood restaurant. It wasn't fancy, just warm bowls of rice, homemade miso soup, and simple meals prepared with love. Day after day, year after year, she stood behind that kitchen counter while others celebrated birthdays, vacations, and holidays. Her hands grew rough, her back slowly bent from endless hours of work. But every sacrifice had one purpose: to give her daughters opportunities she never had. She paid for their education. She celebrated their weddings. She quietly put their dreams ahead of her own. Like countless parents around the world, Emiko believed love meant putting yourself last. And for many years, she never questioned that belief. Then one ordinary afternoon, everything changed. At the age of 68, Emiko locked the restaurant doors for the final time. Her body could no longer endure the physical demands. The business that had carried her family through life's hardest seasons had come to an end. Her daughters rushed to her side. "Mom," her eldest said gently, "you've worked hard enough. Come live with us. Let us take care of you now." Her younger daughter quickly agreed. "The grandchildren would love having you with us. You don't have to be alone anymore." It sounded like the perfect ending. Most people would have accepted without hesitation. But Emiko simply smiled. Then she quietly said something neither daughter expected. "I've spent my whole life making sure you could build your own future. You've done exactly that. Now it's my turn to build mine." The room fell silent. Her daughters were confused. How could their mother choose independence after everything she'd endured? Didn't she deserve to be cared for? Didn't she deserve to finally rest? Seeing the uncertainty on their faces, Emiko spoke again. Over the years, she had discovered something many people never learn. People are strongest when they can still stand on their own. "I don't want my happiness to depend on anyone, not even the people I love most." Her daughters didn't fully understand, not yet. Weeks later, however, a photo arrived on their phones. There was Emiko, standing beneath the mountains of Nagano, smiling more brightly than they had seen in years. There was no sign of loneliness, no sadness, only freedom. For the first time since becoming a young widow decades earlier, she was living for herself. That photograph became a turning point, not only for her daughters, but for everyone who heard her story. Because Emiko had uncovered a truth that many people discover far too late. Preparing for old age isn't simply about saving money. It's about preparing your heart. Too many parents spend their entire identity raising children. Then one day the children grow up, they move away, they create families of their own. Suddenly the role that defined your life begins to fade. If your entire happiness depends on being needed, retirement can feel frightening. An empty home can feel unbearable, and independence can seem like loneliness. But Emiko saw it differently. She realized that the greatest gift parents can give their children is not lifelong sacrifice. It's showing them what a joyful, independent life looks like. She wanted her daughters to visit because they wanted to, not because they felt obligated. She wanted family gatherings to be filled with love, not responsibility. And perhaps most importantly, she wanted to discover who Emiko really was, beyond being someone's wife or someone's mother. That decision became the first treasure she found in later life. Not money, not comfort, freedom. The freedom to choose her own schedule, the freedom to make new memories, the freedom to wake up each morning asking a simple but powerful question: what do I want to do today? For the first time in decades, she finally had an answer. But independence alone wasn't enough. Emiko soon realized that living longer means very little if your body cannot carry you through the life you've worked so hard to create. And that realization led her to discover the second treasure, one that transformed not only her health, but her entire outlook on aging. We'll explore that in the next part. After choosing to live independently, Emiko believed life would naturally become peaceful. Instead, she quickly discovered another truth. Freedom means very little if you don't have the health to enjoy it. Years of standing in the kitchen had left her body exhausted. Her back ached constantly. Her shoulders felt stiff every morning. Even walking a short distance required determination. For decades, she had ignored the warning signs. Like so many parents, she always believed there would be time to care for herself later. But later had finally arrived. One morning, she looked in the mirror and quietly made herself a promise. If I want to enjoy the years ahead, I must first take care of the person who will live them. So she began with something incredibly simple, a short walk. The first few days were difficult. Her body resisted every step, but she kept going. Not to become younger, but to become stronger. Week after week, those short walks became longer. She noticed she could breathe more easily. Her back hurt a little less. More importantly, she began looking forward to each morning. One day, while resting in the park, another older woman smiled and asked, "I see you walking every day. Would you like to join our yoga group?" Emiko hesitated. She had never practiced yoga. She worried she might be too old, too stiff, too inexperienced. Then she remembered something she had spent years teaching her daughters. Growth begins the moment we stop saying, "I'm too old." She joined. The gentle stretches gradually restored flexibility she thought she'd lost forever. But something even more valuable happened. Her confidence returned. During one yoga session, she shared a realization that deeply moved everyone in the class. My children cannot give me good health. That responsibility belongs to me. My health is my greatest wealth because it allows me to continue living with dignity. Those simple words carried enormous wisdom. As we grow older, health is no longer about appearance. It becomes freedom. The freedom to travel, to visit friends, to play with grandchildren, to enjoy an ordinary afternoon without pain. Without health, even the most beautiful retirement becomes limited. That was Emiko's second treasure. Not perfect health, but the commitment to care for herself every single day. Yet something was still missing. Healthy bodies still need meaningful lives. Many retirees discover that loneliness isn't caused by living alone. It's caused by feeling unnecessary. Emiko refused to let that happen. One afternoon, she noticed a small community sign asking for volunteers to help plant flowers in a neighborhood park. She had never gardened before. Still, she signed up. At first, she simply pulled weeds and carried watering cans. Nothing extraordinary. Then a young boy walked over holding a small shovel. "Grandma," he asked shyly, "am I doing this right?" She smiled, patiently showed him how to protect the roots while turning the soil. It lasted only a few minutes, but something beautiful happened. 2 generations connected through kindness. Week after week, Emiko returned. She made friends with people decades younger than herself. She laughed more. She listened more. She discovered that purpose doesn't retire when we do. It simply changes. One afternoon, another volunteer asked, "Have you always loved gardening?" Emiko laughed softly. "No, but these flowers helped me start a new life." Those words stayed with everyone who heard them, because they remind us of something we often forget. It's never too late to bloom. The greatest fear of aging isn't wrinkles. It isn't gray hair. It isn't even living alone. The greatest fear is believing your life no longer matters. And the cure isn't waiting for someone to visit. It's continuing to participate in life, to learn, to contribute, to connect. Not long afterward, Emiko surprised her daughters once again. At 68 years old, she enrolled in piano lessons. They couldn't believe it. "Mom," one daughter laughed, "you're learning piano now?" Emiko smiled. "It has been my dream since I was a little girl. I was simply too busy making everyone else's dreams come true." Learning wasn't easy. Her fingers felt stiff. Simple melodies took hours to practice. Sometimes she played the same measure dozens of times, but she never complained. Every wrong note reminded her that she was still growing. 6 months later, she could play songs she had loved all her life, not perfectly, but beautifully, because every note carried gratitude. She often said, "Time isn't something we simply spend. It's something we create." Those words became the philosophy guiding her new life. The greatest risk isn't getting older. The greatest risk is believing you're finished growing. Months later, one of her daughters finally asked the question she'd been holding inside. "Mom, don't you ever feel lonely living by yourself?" Emiko smiled with remarkable peace. "I love you. That's exactly why I chose this life. If I depended on you for my happiness, eventually love could become obligation. I want us to meet because we miss each other, not because either of us has no other choice." Her daughters finally understood. Real love isn't measured by constant closeness. It's measured by freedom, trust, and mutual respect. They visited every weekend, shared meals, laughed together, played with the grandchildren. Then everyone returned to their own lives with grateful hearts. Their relationship became stronger, not because they spent every day together, but because every moment together was filled with genuine joy instead of responsibility. Years later, Emiko reflected on everything she had learned. She realized that happiness in later life doesn't depend on having more money, a larger house, or even more time. It depends on protecting 3 priceless treasures. The first treasure is independence, not refusing help when it's needed, but maintaining the ability to make your own choices for as long as possible. The second treasure is health, because every dream still waiting inside you needs a healthy body to experience it. And the third treasure is purpose. Purpose found in friendships, in learning, in serving others, in finally becoming the person you never had time to be. These treasures cannot be purchased. They are built one decision at a time. One walk, one new friendship, one piano lesson, one act of courage, every single day. So let me leave you with one simple question. If you woke up tomorrow with complete freedom to choose how you spend your day, what would you finally begin? Maybe it's taking that first walk. Maybe it's learning something you've postponed for decades. Maybe it's calling an old friend. Or maybe it's simply giving yourself permission to live, not just exist. Because growing older isn't the end of your story. It may be the chapter where you finally become the author. If Emiko's journey touched your heart, we'd love to hear from you. What is one dream you've never stopped carrying, no matter your age? Share it in the comments below. Your story could encourage someone else to believe it's never too late. And if you enjoy inspiring stories that celebrate purpose, resilience, and the wisdom that comes with age, be sure to subscribe to After 60 Life Wisdom and turn on notifications so you never miss a new episode. Remember, life after 60 is not about counting the years you have left. It's about making every year that's left truly count. Thank you for spending these moments with us. Take good care of yourself, and we'll see you in the next episode of After 60 Life Wisdom.